This lesson covers interval notation. It is a continuation from our chapter on inequalities. We're going to talk about square brackets and intervals, of course, in this PowerPoint. First, let's review. I have up here x is less than negative 2. In the last PowerPoint, the example x is less than negative 2 was used to maybe find things on a number line. There are several different values of x that would make this inequality true, all the way to negative infinity. We drew this with an open circle because negative 2 is not included in this case, but agree that it does go all the way to like negative infinity and basically off the number line. So knowing this, we are going to be introduced to the square brackets. Another way of representing inequalities not on a number line is by using square brackets. I'm going to use the example x is less than negative 2 one more time. So there are a few things that I know about this inequality. 1, it does not include the negative 2. 2, it includes all values that are less than negative 2 all the way to infinity, and in this case, negative infinity. Therefore, we know it goes from negative infinity to negative 2. Can you guess right now how we can write this using square brackets, remembering what is and what is not included in this inequality? It's not just enough to write that x goes from negative infinity to negative 2. We have to use square brackets to show exactly what is and what isn't included. Because infinity goes on forever, it can never be bounded or hugged by a square bracket. So we turn the square bracket away from it. What do you think we'll have around the negative 2? Will the square bracket bound the negative 2 or hug the negative 2 or not? Because the negative 2 is not included in the equality x is less than negative 2, the square bracket will be open or facing away from it. So we have something that looks like this. And this is called an interval. It is another way of writing x is less than negative 2 without having to draw it on the number line. Just some quick information for you. When the numbers are included in the equality, we make the square bracket face the number or hug the number because it's included. When the numbers are not included in the inequality, we make the square bracket face away from the number. It does not hug the number because it is not included. Infinity, negative or positive, will always have the square bracket face away from it. Square brackets never hug positive or negative infinity. Here's another example. X is greater than or equal to 18. Can you name some examples of x that would make this inequality true? Well, I can. 18.5, 19, 20, 100, 1,000, a million. Can you guess the interval for this inequality without square brackets? It will start where and end where? It will start at 18 and it will end at positive infinity. You don't need to put the positive sign for positive infinity. We assume it's positive when there's nothing there. If you're unsure, draw this number on a number line. You'll see that it goes all the way to positive infinity. Now that you know the interval without the square brackets, how can we add square brackets to this? The 18 is included because there is a less than or equal to sign, so it's hugging the 18. But remember, square brackets never hug the infinity sign. It is going to face away. Here is the definition. When you're asked to write the interval notation of an inequality, you need to answer it by properly putting square brackets around the right interval. Here are some examples. Try some yourself and see if you get the right square brackets or interval notation for each of these inequalities. For the first one, you should get that negative 3 hugs, the square bracket hugs the negative 3 and the infinity sign has it facing away. For the second one, x is less than 8, so 8 is not included, it's facing away, and negative infinity here has an open bracket. Same for the next one, except the 19 is included because of this less than or equal to sign. And finally, x is greater than 700. The square bracket hugs away from the 700 and away from the infinity sign. What do you do when x is in between two numbers? We also saw in the last PowerPoint that x can be in between two numbers, something like this, which was also drawn like this. What values of x make this inequality true? Look at the number line and you can find some answers. In this case, x is definitely in between -4 and 5. So from -4 to 5. But how would you write this in interval notation? Remember, what's included and what's not. In this case, the -4 is not included, so the brackets face away. And the 5 is actually being hugged because it's less than or equal to 5. Here's another example. So 20 is less than or equal to x, which is less than or equal to 60. In this case, it's greater than 20, but less than 60. So we can say that x is between 20 and 60. But how would you write this in interval notation? Remember, what's included and what's not? Well, in this case, both are less than or equal to's, so they are both hugging square brackets around the 20 and 60. Try some yourself. Here are some x's in between examples, and see if you can find the right square brackets to hug the following intervals. In this case, the square bracket, in the first case, the square bracket hugs away from the 8, but hugs the 19. Here it hugs both because they're both included. Here it hugs only the 45, but not the 50, and here it actually hugs away from both because they're both not included. What if you were given something like this, which we also saw in the last PowerPoint? Because there are two different lines, we have two different intervals. And in math, we use the symbol U instead of the word and. So the first interval, do you agree, is from -infinity to -3. And the second interval is from 4 to +infinity. Together, we put them side by side with a U separating them both. Try to write the following in interval notation. So here are 3 number lines, and you should know that both the lines span to infinity. In the first one, we have -infinity to 0, U, union, 2 to infinity. In the second one, we have -infinity to -4, union, 0 to +infinity. And in our last one, we have -infinity to -2, union, 5 to infinity. And notice where my square brackets are facing or not. Now, you will most likely have to work on some questions with interval notation, so good luck.